Imagine a river flowing through a vast land. When it has banks to guide it, the river becomes powerful. It irrigates fields, sustains life, and moves with purpose. But when those banks disappear, the water spreads everywhere, losing direction, turning into a swamp. Human life is exactly the same. We often think freedom means doing whatever we want, whenever we want. No rules, no restrictions, no discipline. But strangely, people who live like this often feel the most trapped in bad habits, distractions, anxiety, and regret. So what if true freedom is not the absence of discipline, but the result of it? This is the profound insight given in the Bhagavad Gita, a timeless spiritual guide that explains how mastering yourself is the only path to mastering your life. Subscribe the channel and stay till the end. Let's explore why discipline is not a prison, but the doorway to the highest freedom. The common misunderstanding of freedom. Most people associate discipline with restriction. Wake up early, restriction. Control desires, restriction. Work consistently, restriction. Follow principles, restriction. Naturally, the mind resists. We want comfort, ease, pleasure, and spontaneity. We think freedom means removing effort from life. But look carefully. A person addicted to social media cannot stop scrolling. A person addicted to anger cannot control reactions. A person addicted to laziness cannot act even when needed. Are they free? No. They are controlled not by rules but by impulses. The Gita explains a powerful truth. The person who cannot control themselves is already enslaved. So the question is not whether we will have control in life. The question is, who will control us, our higher self, or our lower impulses? Discipline as self-mastery. Discipline in the Gita is not about punishment or forced behavior. It is about self-mastery. There is a famous idea presented. The mind can be either your best friend or your worst enemy. If the mind is trained, it supports you. If the mind is uncontrolled, it destroys peace. Think about this deeply. When you want to focus but your mind distracts you, you are not free. When you want peace but emotions overwhelm you, you are not free. When you want success but procrastination wins, you are not free. Freedom is not doing what you feel like doing. Freedom is being able to do what you decide to do. And that ability comes only through discipline. The warrior within. The Gita's setting is a battlefield, but the real battlefield is internal. Every human being faces a daily war. Comfort versus growth, desire versus wisdom, impulse versus awareness, fear versus courage. Discipline is the weapon that allows the higher self to win. Without discipline, even good intentions fail. How many times do people say, "I'll start tomorrow. I'll change from next week. I know what is right, but I can't do it." Knowledge without discipline is powerless. The Gita teaches that consistent action aligned with duty, even when uncomfortable, creates strength of character. And character creates destiny. Why structure creates freedom? Let's return to the river analogy. The river's banks restrict its movement, but also give it direction, speed, and power. Similarly, discipline creates boundaries that protect your energy. When you wake up at a fixed time, your day becomes longer. When you control food habits, your health improves. When you manage time, opportunities increase. When you control speech, relationships improve. What appears as restriction actually multiplies possibilities. An undisciplined life is chaotic. Chaos reduces choices. A disciplined life is organized. Organization increases choices. So paradoxically, discipline expands freedom. Freedom from inner enemies. The Gita identifies powerful internal forces that trap human beings: desire, anger, greed, attachment, ego, restlessness. These forces operate automatically unless trained. For example, desire says, "I must have this now." Anger says, "React immediately." Ego says, "Prove yourself right." Attachment says, I cannot live without this. Discipline interrupts these automatic reactions. It creates space between impulse and action, and in that space lies freedom. The disciplined person chooses responses consciously. The undisciplined person reacts mechanically. One lives intentionally, the other lives compulsively. Discipline and inner peace. Many people seek freedom to feel happy, but happiness without inner stability is temporary. The Gita explains that peace comes when the senses and mind are regulated, not suppressed, but guided. Think about athletes, musicians, or artists. They practice for years with strict discipline. From outside, it looks like sacrifice, but from inside, they experience joy, mastery, and flow. Why? Because discipline removes internal conflict. When your actions align with your goals, your mind becomes calm. Peace is not found by escaping effort. Peace is found by aligning effort with purpose. The highest freedom, freedom from fear. One of the deepest insights of the Gita is that disciplined living reduces fear. Fear often comes from lack of control, fear of failure because we didn't prepare, fear of judgment because we lack confidence, fear of future because life feels uncertain. Discipline creates competence. Competence creates confidence. Confidence reduces fear. A disciplined person trusts themselves, and self-trust is one of the greatest freedoms a human being can experience. Detachment, the ultimate discipline. Perhaps the most powerful teaching is discipline of attachment to results. The Gita encourages action with full effort, but without anxiety about outcomes. This is revolutionary. Most suffering comes not from action, but from expectation. What if I fail? What will people think? What if I don't get the result? Attachment creates mental chains. Discipline of detachment breaks them. When you act because it is right, not because of reward, you become internally free. You still work hard. You still pursue goals, but your peace does not depend on outcomes. That is true freedom. Discipline builds identity. Every repeated action shapes identity. If you wake early daily, you become disciplined. If you exercise daily, you become healthy. If you study daily, you become knowledgeable. If you control emotions daily, you become wise. Freedom is not a one-time achievement. It is a personality built over time. The Gita emphasizes steady, consistent effort rather than extreme bursts. Small, disciplined actions repeated daily create extraordinary transformation. Modern life and lost freedom. Today, people have more convenience than ever before, yet feel less free. Why? Because convenience without discipline weakens willpower. Instant entertainment reduces focus. Instant food reduces health. Instant gratification reduces patience. Technology gives external freedom but can reduce internal freedom. The Gita's wisdom becomes even more relevant now. Without self-discipline, modern life easily turns into distraction, comparison, and anxiety. With discipline, the same world becomes full of opportunity and growth. How to develop discipline according to Gita principles. The Gita suggests practical approaches. Start with duty, not mood. Do what is right even when you don't feel like it. Moderation in habits. Balanced food, sleep, work, and recreation stabilize the mind. Control attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. Consistency over intensity. Small daily effort is stronger than occasional extremes. Purpose-driven action. Connect actions to a higher meaning beyond personal pleasure. Discipline grows gradually, like a muscle. The beautiful paradox. Here is the paradox the Gita reveals. The more you control yourself, the less life controls you. The more disciplined you become, the more spontaneous you can be, because discipline removes chaos. When your mind is stable, you can enjoy life freely. When your habits are healthy, you can explore more. When your emotions are balanced, relationships become lighter. So discipline does not reduce joy. It protects joy. True freedom is not doing whatever you want, avoiding responsibility, following every desire. True freedom is mastering your mind, choosing your actions consciously, remaining peaceful regardless of circumstances, acting with purpose without fear, without inner conflict. Discipline is the path that leads there. Like the river guided by its banks, a disciplined life gains strength, direction, and beauty. So the next time discipline feels uncomfortable, remember, it is not taking your freedom away. It is building the freedom you truly desire. Because the greatest victory in life is not over the world. It is over yourself, and that victory begins with discipline. Thank you for joining us. We hope this video has offered you inspiration and insight on your own spiritual journey. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Keep practicing, keep growing, and keep walking the path of inner mastery.